Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of High Risk Podcast, a pro wrestling podcast that's by the fans, for the fans. I'm Matt Sharp, your host, and my co-hosts, Noah Sharp and Scott Colley. Guys,
Hey.
what a week, man. We've had this crazy week with Ric Flair going into the hospital and his condition, and is it heart related? Is it colon related? And then now they're doing a very good job of keeping this private. Which I think is good, but as a fan, you just want to know.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah.
we just want to know everything because we're so used to that. Like we're used to hearing everything that goes on in the WWE world, and it's almost heartbreaking not only to hear about Ric Flair, but to not hear everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I guess so the update that I know we posted out the other day to our Facebook was that he's experiencing now he's dealing with like multiple organ failure or problems with stuff not working the way it should. I know at first they talked about the surgery that he was having. Thought it was stuff to do with his heart and everything because of a condition that he has because of the heavy drinking that he did in his younger years. And then we come to find out that the surgery was actually something to do with his colon and blockage and stuff. And then so I don't know. I wish we knew more.
All over the place.
Yeah, I wish we knew more, and I wish we had more to say about it. I know Charlotte. She finally, earlier this week, she came out and made a statement on Instagram and Twitter about it, and she's basically just been posting pictures of her and the family and Rick, but not really saying anything. And I just want more, but I guess it's not my business until they make it my business.
But well wishes for Ric Flair and the Flair family. So,
Definitely.
Very much.
I'm sporting the shirt today. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's like down here, but
see, I don't own a Ric Flair shirt, but I would have wore one today if I did own one.
Scott, I got this, man. I remember when I was around your neck of the woods for a little bit that day when a particular woman that I was dating was going to a party.
I believe I remember something of the sort. Yes.
Yeah, it was a good time. I stopped over at FYE and got me a Ric Flair shirt.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm with you now.
You remember now? You remember?
Such a riveting story, man. Wow.
I know. I know. I should tell you again. Speaking of riveting stories, shout out to Aura Organic. I got my Daniel Bryan endorsed.
Jeez, get out of here.
Endorsed pre-workout. I'm so excited to try it. Thank you, Daniel Bryan. Appreciate the hookup.
Get out of there. But
even
Daniel,
though you're not
do
getting
want to
paid
sponsor
for
us.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but if he ever decides that he liked it, feel free to send some of that WWE money our way, man. We'll take it.
Yeah. Scott.
Comment below.
Scott, come on.
This is not a moment to do it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
He's not feeling it.
so should we dive into the content for this week, or
Dig
should we
in.
okay.
Let's get into the
Just go
first
for
helping.
it.
Well, to our viewers for this episode, we're going to do something a little different. We got SummerSlam coming up on Sunday, so this episode of High Risk, we're just going to cover the content throughout the week like we normally do, a little bit of a recap and stuff. But in the past, we've usually done that, plus do our pay-per-view picks during that time. But we're actually going to do a separate show for that, so be sure to click around for that. It'll be somewhere near this one. So, and that's where you'll hear our takes on some of the booking, some of our predictions for what's going on, and all that fun stuff. So, that being said, I guess we can dive into Raw. Guys, all in all, really not a bad Raw going into SummerSlam. Again, 3 hours is 3 hours, but, they at least delivered in a small way. We got blood being poured on Finn.
Everything that happened with Finn, I'm like a fan of.
Yeah.
Just because, for the longest time we were curious about how the demon would like come around, and I feel like big four pay-per-views only. I feel like that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
I'm
Even
trying to
for
find-
me, I would say that's even. I wouldn't just use it for big four pay-per-views. I would use it for when like a feud is like more of a grudge match at that point. Not really just because it's SummerSlam. We need Finn painted up. Like I feel like they should save that for when feuds are with Finn are just like that serious, and he's got to go to like another level to do it.
Yeah, like an all out kind of thing. Like he's got to go all out for that fight.
Like one, maybe 2 times a year, not more than that. Because then once you do that, you're gonna start watering it down, and it's not special anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like they need it. They don't. You can't. Well, I remember seeing at Extreme Rules they had like some of their promo stuff, and they had a picture of Finn all painted up, and Finn wasn't painted up at that pay-per-view. So I feel like you can't have that being one of your selling points if that's not what you're gonna see there. It's almost false advertisement to me. I mean, I love the paint. It looks awesome. Finn, you can tell he kind of goes into a different character when he does it. You know, it's great. I love it. I just don't want it to just be oversaturated. You know, keep it special. That's one thing that sometimes I feel like they kind of waste is they'll just do the same thing over and over again. Like Hell in a Cell nowadays is not really what it meant to be because it's a pay-per-view you're going to see every single year, regardless of if you get to that point. So my take is like I love that. I love the demon. Just try to keep it to a minimum and only to me when a feud really needs it.
See, that's a very like Triple H sort of mindset of thinking because that's kind of how he's been, or not that how he's been, but just how Raw sort of been ran. I mean, it's crazy. We've had Brock around for, a few of the couple past Raws, and that's a really rare thing to get multiple Brocks and like. Multiple Brocks, that's a scary thought. Oh man, but no, just to get a lot of Brock Lesnar appearances in a short amount of time. So I mean, that's the way of thinking, and it's for Finn. If they've done appropriately, it can be awesome, and that's sort of what they go in there. That's their mentality for Brock for the Universal Championship. They do want to make those moments special.
Like, what they're doing now, the way they did it was just like, he said something like, Bray has his demons, well, he's going to see my demons too, after he pours, like, the bucket of what they call blood on him. I mean, that's okay, but, like, when they did it last summer, the reason why he had the paint was because Seth called him out on it. Like, that to me is not a good enough reason for him to be the demon. Demon King, whatever they call it.
I feel like at that time it was a very much sort of all right. We have Finn now. SummerSlam is here. Yeah, let's go and do it. That's.
I think it's a good way to the way it was all right to kind of expose it out there so people see it, so at least they know what they're talking about now, and they're like, oh, when's he gonna do that again? So I don't know. There's a couple of different ways you could do. You can do it like that to where people now say, oh, I want to see that again. Or you can kind of do it like how they're doing the club, putting the club together, is you're waiting for it. And then when it happens, hopefully they're going to have that big payoff. Mm-hmm. But when you start talking about the club, to me at this point, you're almost, it's been so long. Is it really even worth it at this point,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another topic. What else we got going on?
Yeah. Well, so for that match between Bray and Finn, we had Bray going over with the clean finish, good old Sister Abigail, which is an interesting way to set up for SummerSlam. Makes you wonder how they're going to go about it. But we'll get into all that later. So we got our Shield reunion. We got the
partially
two-thirds of the Shield. Sorry, the other one is
the better 2/3 of the Shield.
Yes, the other one is busy getting ready to get his butt kicked. So, but yeah, so we got the epic fist bump that we all wanted to see. I'm just not a Shield guy, so I mean I could take it or leave it. It's whatever. But I like some of the build that they've been doing with this. Like, oh, or do you have my back, or are you gonna hit me in the back again? Like, what's going on? So
see, it's cool. Like I'm the same way. But whenever I was watching it and I saw the rest of the crowd get behind it and their reaction to it, I sort of got caught up in that, and I was going for it as well. So it's, it just whenever you take everything in, it can change your perspective a little bit. It's pretty awesome.
Like, I don't want to go too much into the SummerSlam because I know we talked about we're going to do that later. But to me, this match is almost more about because they're in the tag team championship match with Sheamus and Cesaro. And to me, it's more about what are those two going to do rather than are they going to win the belts type of thing. You know, it's almost what it seems like to me. But yeah, I mean it's cool. I think with the Hardy Boys not in title contention right now, that it definitely the tag team division needed a little bit of a boost. So this was definitely a good boost to get some name power on that tag team division.
Yeah. I guess my only thing with the whole Shield thing is like, I mean, I wasn't really watching when they kind of started to do their thing, but when people can compare them to DX or Evolution or whatever, I'm just like, that's a big. I don't know if you could properly do that, but
I don't think they really necessarily were the same type of group.
No.
Yeah, like, they were different. I mean, definitely a sort of first of their kind.
Yeah, because like the Shield was like three guys like working together, whereas Evolution was like you had Ric Flair and Triple H were kind of teaching the younger guys, and then in DX was just a group of friends kind of messing around. So I mean, I don't really feel you can compare any of the three to each other because the groups were just so different from each other and what they were trying to accomplish and what they were doing.
That's fair. All right, so we got Sasha and Nia. Pretty good match, you know. I've been impressed with Nia. I mean, she's ever since she like did that flip in the ring a couple weeks back, I've been sold on her. So I'm totally for it. And she got Bayley on the shelf for a little bit, which I think Bayley actually needs. So, but yeah, we got Nia doing a big slam to Sasha. I
don't necessarily know she needed to get hurt. I mean, it helps that she's not going to be on television.
She needs to be on the shelf, is what I'm saying. Not necessarily her, but she needs to be on. I'm not saying I'm glad that she got hurt. I'm just saying she needs to be shelved for a minute. Whether that was
she needed to get away from television.
Yeah, and they weren't. It took her getting hurt to make that happen because they were not gonna just leave Bayley out. They just weren't. They were gonna run her right into the ground. That's what she was doing. You take somebody that had. She has it to be like the female John Cena, you know, and to be a face, and then they've just been tanking her, man, running her down to the ground. So
I just wanted you to reword that a little better because the way you said it was like, I'm glad she's hurt. Yeah, you know, that's great. I'm like, no, it's never good to have somebody hurt.
No, you know what? I'm running on fumes here, Scott. What do you want from me, man? But that's
why I'm here.
That's why I love you. You keep me in check. No, so we had a good match there, good back and forth, and then of course we had Miss Alexa Bliss sitting up on a lifeguard chair. I don't.
Yeah.
Spray painted silver.
I don't know. Okay, so then we got Cass and Show. How do you guys feel about this Enzo? Oh, I know it's a SummerSlam thing, but we had Show's hand getting crushed in the shark cage or whatever it was. But are we trying to promote the toy again? Is that what we're doing? Is that not selling?
Honestly, this of all
this
things
is the third cage match they've had this year now.
Yeah,
it's the third cage match the third shark cage match they've had this year.
Yeah.
When was the last time they had a shark cage match?
It was with definitely a NXT thing. Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, no, they've had three this year because they had the one at the Rumble where it was Roman and Kevin with Chris Jericho in the cage above it. They had the NXT. I think that one was in right before the Rumble too. Was it then or it might have been December? But it was the tag team match with Paul Ellering above in the shark cage there, and then now they're having this one. So it's like this is the third one they've had in 12 months now. And when was the last time you've seen this match stipulation since then? Since the past 12 months?
I just feel like it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I can some stipulations I can see like with the Chris Jericho one, it made sense because Chris kept getting involved. So you wanted to hang Chris above there so you can watch. You know, he can't. He's less likely to impact the match from up there. Obviously, he still impacted that match because he dropped down the brass knuckles. But just to have Enzo in a cage, just so he's up in a cage, it feels like it's one of those let's try to get some free merchandising out for our toy line.
Exactly. All right, guys. I know we usually we dust over the cruiserweights and we don't really talk about them, but we had a title change on Raw right before a big time pay per view, which makes me think. And again, we'll get into all that with the other one, but it makes me think that Tozawa is going to end up dropping it at SummerSlam just because of how they are with giving a title, dropping a title, giving a title, dropping a title. But yeah, I was shocked to see it, and it was a good match. You get the awesome jump, flying, leaping, deluxe senton from the top rope.
I have a question. His finisher used to be a German suplex. Now it's that top rope senton.
Yeah, definitely a lot better.
His German suplex was nasty. He would
He would do the snap German.
Yeah, it was nasty when he did that. He would.
See, well, I mean, that's why they kind of did it. That's one of those watered down cruiserweight classic moves.
Well, that's just a watered down WWE move, not necessarily cruiserweight move. Yeah, but I could see just Vince doing that in general.
Well, that's why when people say "Oh, I want Kenny Omega and Marty Scurll or whatever his last name is."
Scurll, get your Matt. Do not start with me.
When people say that they want those guys to come to the WWE and all that, I get it. It would be awesome to see them, but you're not gonna get them as they are now. As the people who know of them, as you know them now, you're not gonna get that. You're gonna get this watered down, just
it's just a different wrestling style in the WWE than it is in 98% of other wrestling companies, promotions, whatever you want to call them. So, yeah.
I mean, NWA still got the 20 count on the outside and over the top, DQ.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah, I still don't know how I feel about that.
It's a crazy one.
The count-out's one thing with over the top rope. I was like, and it was our guy that got disqualified because he won, but it was because of the other dude throwing him over the top. And I was like, no, I want a pin. I want a clean pin.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking about time we went to go see my boy Evan Money go and compete in Rolla, Missouri. Evan, we need to get you on this show, dude. We need to get you on this show. We've been talking about it too long. We need to make it
insight.
Evan, if you could clear your schedule for us wee peasants and come on our show, we would love you. Okay.
We prefer to record on Thursday nights, but we're willing to adjust our schedule for you.
Yeah, these guys, they adjusted their schedule for me because I'm a slacker and I couldn't record until 7:30 instead of 4.
It's what up, fam?
It's my fault. Anyway, so Emma and Mickey wins. This was stupid.
Hashtag give Emma a chance. That was a thing that was pushed.
You can't. Okay, is she gonna sleep her way to the top or not? Because she's posting pictures on Twitter and Instagram of her and Jason Jordan. Run with that storyline and have her try to weasel her way to the top or whatever. Okay. Anyway,
she needs something.
She needs something, and Mickey does too, because Mickey's too good to be doing that crap. Okay, so we got Miz and Jason Jordan. Not a bad match. I still just with this Jason Jordan thing. I want it to work out for him. I really do. But the other guys, what's his name?
Who?
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. Yeah.
He's doing a lot better than
I'm
Jason.
saying.
Did you watch his match? You didn't watch his match this week on SmackDown.
No, I watched it.
Got chucked over a table and got. What I don't understand. What the point of putting an accolade on a table? It does nothing extra to the move.
Yeah, I guess it's so. I mean.
Well done, Rusev. Well done. That table really helped you out there, bud.
And the ring sits higher than the table, so it's not so people could see it better. It's not.
Anyway, Jason Jordan.
No, but I just feel like Chad's getting. I mean, I feel like he's the one that's benefiting from it because this really Jason Jordan thing, the crowd doesn't seem to be into it. I think his music plays a big part. I just think that is part of the storytelling, and when your music is trash,
I still haven't even heard his new entrance music yet.
I feel
I'll
they tweaked it a little bit because something about it was just different. But
It did have a different vibe to it.
Mm.
Yep, I'd give you that one. So yeah, you got Miz and Jason Jordan. Everybody's kind of benefiting from this one, and I guess it was supposed to. And we had the Hardys and all that stuff. I guess it was supposed to be like Hardys and the Revival and stuff, but then oh boy got hurt.
I believe the
so-
original plan was a triple threat: Hardys versus Club versus Revival,
Yeah,
and that was essentially going to be a number one contenders match.
yeah.
That ain't
Which
happening anymore.
I'm curious now with the information about the Hardys and where their placement is on the card, which we'll get to in our SummerSlam. I wonder where they were going to originally be if the Revival hadn't gotten injured.
I'm still saying it would have been on the pre-show. I don't. I think I was looking at that card today, and not that there's like huge big name matches, but there's matches that deserve more to be on that main card than they do that pre-show, and I just feel like the Hardy that feud with the Hardy Boys was just not one of the higher caliber feuds on that card. So I think that would have dropped them down to the pre-show regardless.
And this worries me because we saw the same thing with the Dudleys. You saw them come in, cause a whole bunch of chaos, get a really big pop, and then as time went on, they just slowly fizzled out. And now they're on the part of the card that they're on, and we'll get to that later. But
There's only with the Hardy Boys. There's one thing that can change everything because it basically changed the whole dynamic of. I would honestly say the whole dynamic of the WWE, and we'll see if it ever happens.
Now they want to be woke.
Yeah, they want to be woke.
You.
Yeah, I just woken.
Woken Hardys.
Hashtag
You.
Vinced it up.
When I get it, I get like the legal side of it. Like, okay, if we're not gonna get the broken, what else can we do? And maybe woken is like the best thing that you could do. I don't know. I think it's just gonna come down to them taking it and running with it and see what happens. If anybody can pull it off, it's Matt, because Matt's the one that got it all up there.
Well, I knew about the broken gimmick and all that, but I went back and there's a Talk is Jericho, Chris Jericho's podcast. He had one on where his special guest was Broken Matt Hardy, and he's in character the whole time. And he was kind of like, I was getting the background of it, and it makes act like this woken part actually to me makes more sense than broken, because he's like, after I lost this match, my mind is now woken to all the it's now he can talk to like all these other spirits, and he can see into the past and future. So to me, I'm not saying woken is better than broken. I'm just I can understand how that would work with the same gimmick.
Yep. All right. Oh gosh, the Fatal 4-Way. How could I forget about that?
Well, the good old 15-minute talk fest that happened first.
Yeah. You got Paul Heyman going out there cutting promos. I mean,
they are playing up this Brock Lesnar leaving. And apparently he also said that they're going to lock the beast up in a cage in his promo, and none of the crowd got it. The crowd was just dead. Because Brock's talking about going to the UFC, and they fight in a cage.
Oh.
That's why the crowd didn't get it. That is the prime example of why the crowd didn't get it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm ready for the main event. I'm tired of all the talk. I'm ready for that match. I think I'm going to be let down by the winner of that match, but
that match actually is one of those times where it actually deserves to be the main event of one of the big four pay-per-views.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of times that the main events should not be the main events.
Yeah, I mean we're guaranteed. Well, I'm not gonna say guaranteed. We have an opportunity to possibly, maybe, perhaps get a better match than what we had last year between Randy and Brock. Possibly,
I wonder,
maybe, perhaps.
I wonder if they're going to change the finish because of what happened. Because I know that they were really, keeping the finish of the match and the winner under very, very tight lock and key, thanks to the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to, do some calls on the fly.
See, honestly, I'm not buying it that they released it. I don't think they're actually saying who the winner was. The way I read that tweet was that Brock Lesnar is currently the Universal Champion and he will be there on Monday Night Raw. That's not saying he is the champion going into Monday Night Raw. It's just saying he is the champion right now and he will be at Monday Night Raw. That is how I read that tweet. I didn't read it as he's winning and is going to come in as the Universal Champion. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, it can be interpreted different ways. Cause when I first initially read it, it was very, Brock's just going to be there as going away.
I find it hard to believe the Barclays Center actually knows the finish of that match. I find it very hard to believe that.
Yeah.
I just think people read into it way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of makes you think with the stipulation of him leaving the WWE. If
Like, is he really gonna do like a whole go home tour? Like, why doesn't he just leave?
Yeah, I don't know. That's I say. Whenever we get to the next show and making our predictions and stuff, that's going to be one that is going to require heavy analysis.
Yes.
Unless you're Scott, who already has it all figured out. That's why he's a champion.
Yeah, so here's the tweet. It's Barclays Center. Just announced Universal Champion The Beast Brock Lesnar will be live on WWE Raw at Monday 8/21. To me, that's not saying he's going to win the belt. To me, that is saying he will be there and he is the current champion. That's how I read it.
It just
so really, if he does lose, to me, that's him. That could be him and Paul just coming there and wrecking shit like they did after Mania last year. Because whenever he or 2 years ago, 2 years ago when Seth cashed in and just destroyed everybody, that could be the same situation. They have
there's still so much.
And Michael Cole's shoe, because I'm pretty sure that went to the stands.
Yeah. His $1,000 shoes. No, but yeah, that's going to be a good main event, good build up there. You got the locker room, all the jobbers coming out to separate everybody, all the jobbers. So yeah, guys, that was Raw. Scott, shall we go over to the promised land, to the land of opportunity?
Yeah, so I don't really want to, but I feel like we got to start off with the sad life that is Baron Corbin right now. He cashes in his Money in the Bank contract and epically fails. So this now tells me that the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that I went to was a complete waste of my time. Because nothing that happened on that pay-per-view has done anything.
Yep.
Little upset about it, to be completely honest with you.
But you got to see AJ and Shinsuke go at it, man.
I mean, I saw... Well, yeah, because I care about that.
What? Oh my gosh.
I quit.
I can take over from here. That's fine. I have no problem.
I would love to see you edit this.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard some rumors saying that it's because Vince is starting to sour on Baron because he's just not quite what Vince thought he was going to be. I feel like someone's got to bite the bullet, so to speak, and be every once in a while you need somebody that fails to cash in. You know, you got to make it, oh, crap, he didn't actually win,
Yeah.
So
I guess, but I feel like just because Vince soured on him, I feel like it's almost too soon. Like, if you're going to sour on him, you would have done it back in his time in, like, NXT. The great thing about the
Vince doesn't watch NXT. He has you can watch Monday Night Raw and see Vince has I would say he might watch a couple episodes, but he does not keep up with NXT. What he saw was Baron Corbin down in NXT, looked at him, saw he's like 6'10", and be like, I want that guy. That's what he saw.
But I don't know. I feel like if Vince would have given Baron some more time, because I mean that's the thing about the briefcase. You have plenty of time to actually cash it in. You have an entire year for crying out loud, and we've only been into like the first 2 months of this guy having the briefcase, if that. So.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a wasted opportunity to me. I agree with you. There's plenty of time that you could build up to it, but
yeah.
To me, why would you do it on the SmackDown Go Home show for SummerSlam? That's just a horrible show to do it on.
And that is just a really odd time too, because with Shinsuke and Jinder, either the only way I could have seen Baron going into that was Shinsuke wins, Baron cashes in, there you go. But I feel like there is not a good place for him to be in at the time without shoehorning him in with the actual briefcase. And their feud with Cena, So I just feel like right now everything it's not crowded, but it feels like it kind of is. Like everybody's doing something. So they just, I don't know. For me, would have definitely waited a little bit longer to just sort of feel out the land.
I mean, I wouldn't have given it to Baron Corbin in the first place.
Oh, it was definitely.
But it is what it is. So that's that. It's just a very confusing move to make because like, why do it on like SmackDown instead of a pay-per-view? I mean, I can understand. I know sometimes you want to do it on free television. You know, you can pop ratings and this and that. But why do it right before SummerSlam? You know, And then the way he lost was like a roll-up because he went to go punch John Cena in the face. It was just,
Well, like, to me, like, why did he even, as far as the storytelling goes, and I know it's like, oh, maybe I'm reading into it, but like, John, it's not like John was like reaching in to distract him. Baron just turned, and you could see him like looking at him and stuff.
Yeah, I kept watching and I was like,
yeah,
well,
so
see,
it's like,
so what happened was,
to me, like, why even go to hit him when he's just standing there? If he was like reaching for him or like talking trash to him, then I could see, okay, let me just get rid of him. But to me, you could have got the job done still.
So I watched SmackDown, and then like towards right before that main event of this, like my cable kind of started like cutting out on me, and I was like, you know what? I'll catch the rest of it tomorrow. I don't care about John Cena versus Jinder Mahal. I look at my phone when I wake up, and I was like looking at what happened, and it said Corbin fails to cash in. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I had a very sour reaction to it as well.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's that.
Oh wait,
I don't even know why he went to punch it. There's so many things I don't understand about that situation.
we need to do a quick shout out to the chick that flipped off John Cena.
Yeah.
We've all wanted to do it, and you got the job done. So it wasn't just you doing it; it was all of us doing it with you. So it
was funny too because on Tuesday, ESPN they have a celebrity fantasy football league, and Seth Rollins is in it. So he's at like ESPN Sports Center headquarters at this live fantasy football draft, and so ESPN has a WWE section, and they have a WWE on ESPN Twitter, and they go and somebody tells Seth that Jinder fails to cash in his Money in the Bank, and Seth's like video reaction is just it's pretty funny. You got to check it out. He's like, ah! It's funny. So yeah, there's that. It's such a questionable move. We'll see where they go from here. I don't know. It's just, yeah. Once again, the title scene right now, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not a huge Shinsuke fan. I don't like Jinder Mahal. It's not a match I'm dying to see this weekend.
Daniel Bryan, come out of retirement. We need you.
Yeah.
And since you said this, I just remembered it though. Brie Bella was having an interview the past couple days, and somebody asked him what she thought about Daniel Bryan coming back from wrestling, and she said, Daniel Bryan, if he wants to wrestle, he will wrestle again. I'm not going to stop him. I'm not saying it's going to be in WWE, but if he wants to wrestle, he will wrestle again. His contract is up in 2018 at next summer sometime. So if WWE does not let him wrestle again, he's splitting and he's going somewhere else, and he will wrestle again.
I don't blame him.
So, and I guess he's also doing these cryogenic treatments now, and he's had like 40 since April. So he's had a lot of them, and supposedly that's supposed to be really good for brain injuries. So we'll see what Vince and the doctors have to say.
We're gonna get a cyborg Daniel Bryan.
Ooh.
He's just been doing all these experimental treatments.
I dig it.
RoboCop Daniel Bryan.
Man.
One more match is Bryan Danielson. Who knows? I'm sure if he goes back to Indies, he's got to use his Indie name, right? Because I'm sure Daniel Bryan's going to be copyrighted by WWE.
Oh, you know it is.
So, and that name's got
Cody,
quite a bit of weight behind it.
if Cody Rhodes doesn't get to keep his last name, nothing is safe.
Yep.
So, all right, continuing on, we had another face-to-face with AJ and Kevin and Shane.
I loved it.
I feel like it was
fun.
pretty close to the same one as last week. Didn't really do much for the story. Basically, Shane says if somebody touches him, he's going to beat the crap out of them. So we'll see what happens. And Kevin Owens ends up super kicking Shane. So now Shane has absolutely no allegiances, even though he didn't have any before. I'm excited. I'm excited for the match.
Could be the best match or second best match of the night, depending on how the Fatal 4-Way goes.
I'll give you that. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. So I just hope that the match is AJ and Kevin and not Shane McMahon featuring AJ and Kevin. So that's
I get what you're saying.
I hope that. I mean, Shane's there. Let's not make him the focal point of the match.
Yes, please.
Referee should never be a focal point of the match, in my opinion.
I just want him to jump off something.
I'm just here to see him jump.
I don't care what he does. I don't care if he hits anybody. I just want to see him jump.
All right. So, yeah, Natalya beat Becky Lynch with a sharpshooter. Oh.
Cool.
Natalya looks okay going into SummerSlam. Not great. She looks okay. We'll see what happens. Surprising that Becky Lynch ends up taking the loss, but yeah. We talked about Chad Gable earlier. He just took a beating.
He did.
It was a double count out. Rusev was just throwing him all around. And I don't know how Randy Orton does it, if he's just been doing it so long, if he practices, but he can literally hit an RKO out of nowhere and hit it perfectly every single time.
Well, the great thing is that,
good.
like...
No, go ahead.
No, we're probably going to, like, say, like, the exact same thing. Like, just, like, where the camera was. Yeah. Just where, like, so where the camera was and where it was focused on and where the RKO took place, it legit seemed out of nowhere. So it was definitely, like, the focus was on Rusev, and then out of nowhere, the guy with the RKO, and, like, the camera had to, like, fight to, like, zoom out and catch the action and everything, because you didn't, like, see all of it. You just had seen that would happen, and then it was there. So, but no, that was really cool.
I loved it. It was well done. I won't take anything away from it. My only thing, it felt like they were trying to recreate the time where he ran into Raw and hit Brock with it, and like nobody saw it coming. You couldn't see it from the cameras or nothing. So it felt like they were trying to recreate that, which it was a beautiful. It was well done. I mean, you couldn't see him. It was well done. But I don't know if it. I mean, maybe this is a nitpicky thing for me. It just didn't give me that like, oh my gosh. Maybe it's because this match is like, why are we doing it?
Exactly.
But you know, I mean, yeah, it was all.
Hitting an RKO on Brock is totally different because Brock is like the guy you cannot knock down. Rusev he's now just a guy. He's not even a guy with a hot girl. He is just a guy.
Yeah.
He's got a hot haircut.
Yeah, a very handsome one.
A very handsome haircut.
Yeah, I don't care about this match. We'll see if it's any good. I just don't care. A lot of matches I'm learning that I just don't care about. Like, you know.
I feel like there's like a lot of matches on here that can be good, but the card is very much just
thrown together. Yeah, they just do it together. Like they have their big matches. I feel like they knew they wanted, and they had other names that they needed on the pay-per-view that they just kind of put together.
Yeah.
So, Tamina and Lana have a weird dynamic going. I don't
dig it.
Yeah,
I don't know what to think.
I want to be as brutal as you, but you can't be as pretty as me. And what is it? Middle school? What are they doing?
I don't know. I'm very confused. I just don't know what to think.
Send them down to NXT.
Put Lana back with Rusev. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, So I'm a little let down. Breezango is not going to be at SummerSlam, and we will not ever find out who these mystery attackers are.
In
I'm
two
beginning
in
to think.
2 weeks we might.
Yeah.
Might as well be 25 years because at this point I'm never going to find out who attacked them. So I don't.
I don't think they. I don't think they just. I don't think they know what they want to do with this anymore. Like you said before, Scott. I think they kind of wrote themselves into a corner and like they don't know where to go with it now.
Oh, I don't know. Whenever that the Fashion Files came on, it definitely you could hear the crowd had a little bit of a pop. So I mean that's good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean that's really about it. I'm trying to think. You had the New Day versus the Usos before the match on Sunday. Another match we'll see again on Sunday that we just saw this week. I don't understand why you do that.
Yeah, but like, didn't they say the people fighting in the match is Xavier
that to
and
me
Vicky, right?
that ruins it because half the thing about the New Day that I like is you don't know who's going to wrestle, and that's part of their dynamic is you don't know who you're going to wrestle. But now they just kind of blow it. Oh, and then Daniel Bryan's going to try to start a rap group with
Yes.
the Usos, but you guys don't know that because you guys didn't watch Talking Smack when they were on there.
I watched like the segment.
Don't.
Did you watch
Don't
watch the
blame
Talking
us.
Smack segment where they actually started that? Like
No,
3
but
months ago? Okay then. Well, you don't
it
even
was
know.
cool for me, Scott.
You don't
Don't
know
take that
it-
away.
You don't know what sweet beats means.
Don't blame us because your show got axed.
He said it. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
You know what?
That's bad.
It's still going to be on after pay-per-views. So
Wow. That's a pretty sick burn, man. He just got messed up. He just got totally annihilated, man. Dang.
Not my
Flustered.
favorite shirt. Not my favorite shirt.
yeah, so I don't. We'll see what happens. They can put on a good match. They've done it. So we'll see if one of those like matches you're not really looking forward. Not that you're not looking forward to it. One that you're just not expecting, and it's going to be really good. So we'll see. These guys, we've seen them put on some pretty good tag team matches. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that for the most part, SmackDown. Baron Corbin.
New merch.
Yeah.
New merch. We're gonna have some of this and some of this.
We can start our own emojis.
Oh my
know?
gosh. There we go.
Yeah. Did anyone get a chance to watch NXT this week? I completely forgot about it, to be honest.
All I saw was that we had a contract signing, I'm pretty sure, between...
I don't even
Asuka
remember
and-
who's all on this takeover card. I have to look it up.
we got, I want to say it's Andrade versus... is it Cassius? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, there's very much about this card that I definitely do not know, except for Rude and McIntyre, which they had a great
You got Rude and McIntyre for the championship. Oh my gosh, why do I have music playing? That was distracting. The NXT Women's Championship, Asuka versus Ember Moon. Is this Ember's time?
I don't
No.
know. It's so
Find out.
crazy.
No, I think she needs to hold it until Mania.
I honestly, at this point,
Drop it
I
that
think
one.
she just needs to like relinquish the title.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
You got a tag team, Authors of Pain versus Sanity.
Yeah.
Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami.
Yeah, that'll be good. That
I
would
think
be
we're all
good.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
I guess Aleister Black's got a pretty solid entrance. He's gonna bust out too. So
Man.
then Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. Oh.
I like Andrade. He was definitely one of my favorites down there. Not excited for this match.
That's that. We'll see how it goes.
That's crazy. That's it. I feel like there needs to be more matches. I feel like it could be like a 2-hour show. Alright. Yeah.
That's gonna be my new go-to now.
I dig it.
How do you get your arm so perfectly like? That's like a mean ass right angle you got going on.
It's kind of. I can't do it now.
Like I can't.
All right, Noah. What happened in New Japan over the weekend? Was the
All right,
G1 finals
so
correct?
yeah, spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, close
Mute
your
it.
ears now. Yeah, mute it now, but come back, of course. But okay, so really, what we should talk about first is Okada Omega 3, which was an absolutely insane match. Very brutal. Uh, it's crazy. I don't know how Kenny Omega does it, and I don't know how he did it last year. Whenever he won, he got into the finals, turned around less than 24 hours later, and did another Kenny Omega classic style match. It's insane, and he did it again. So the crazy thing about Okada Omega 3 this time is that they only had 30 minutes to work with. Their first match went 47 minutes. Their second one went the full 60-minute draw. So this one, there had to be a definite winner, and it didn't really give a lot of room for error. But Kenny won, which is pretty surprising. He actually did it, So that's awesome. Then going into the finals with him and Tetsuya Naito, I'd almost say that match was better than Okada Omega 3, just because of the V-trigger knees that Naito took. Absolutely vicious. There's footage of it, and the camera got right in on Naito's face as soon as Omega gave him the knee, right across his face, scraped it. It was just absolutely brutal. I don't know how he
I think the spot of that match was he goes for a pile driver through the table. He misses the table.
It was a planned spot. He was
supposed to go through the table.
It was a planned spot.
But to go through the table. He missed the table.
He was supposed to miss.
No,
he was supposed
wasn't.
to miss.
I don't know. Dave Meltzer says he's supposed to hit the table, and I'm prone to believe Dave Meltzer.
No,
well, you're prone to be wrong.
But that's crazy because another Dave Meltzer thing I was listening to, he said it was a planned spot.
Yeah, to go through the table. He wasn't supposed to miss the table.
No, the idea was for them to miss because they were so tired and groggy.
No, it wasn't. No, there's a fine line between crazy spot and stupid spot.
Either way, doesn't matter.
You're supposed to go through the table. The smart move is to go through the table.
Okay, but
it looks cooler to go through the table. That way, just looked bad. It just looked bad when he did that. Going through the table was like, oh my gosh, he just went through the table. Not, oh my gosh, he just went through the table. Yeah.
But
one thing I noticed in the New Japan shows that I have watched, they do a lot of pile drivers over there.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 a match. I mean, it's the big matches that I've watched, but there's 3 or 4 a match.
So no, the ending of that, very brutal. It took Naito's finisher is the Destino, which is pretty much like a let's just call it a reverse DDT, or is it a
like a tilt to whirl, neck breaker sort of something. It's weird. I don't even know how he does it. Flips over the guy and grab. I don't know. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that. So, but no, it took he had to do 4 times just to get the 3 count on Omega. So your winner of the G1 Climax tournament is Tetsuya Naito. So you have that, which is very interesting because a lot of people were expecting with Kenny's win against Okada. The idea was, bam, Wrestle Kingdom 12, Okada Omega 4, but it seems like they're going to kind of push that back or not give it so soon, which I'm kind of fine with, because
I think he's also got that belt, so I don't think you. You've only got so many belts, and you don't want to have them all or have belt versus belt, and then
yeah, and Kenny kind of needs to lose the IWGP the US belt. I feel like that kind of needs to go to somebody else, but because the belt hasn't been defended anywhere else as far as I know. There's only been the one match, and that's whenever he got the belt. But no, that's it. That's the big news with New Japan, and now we're on the road to the Destruction pay-per-view, which nothing known about that yet. A lot of Road 2 shows, a lot of house shows to promote it, but A lot of people think that Juice Robinson over there is going to get a pretty big push because of his performance inside of the tournament. They're almost thinking that for whenever New Japan comes back in Chicago, I believe next year, they're going to put the U.S. Championship belt on Juice Robinson, which is going to be very interesting. I wouldn't have pegged him as the guy to do it, but, crazy things happen all the time in the wrestling world. But that was it for New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's great. Even if you didn't watch all the tournament action, that's fine. Some matches to definitely watch. Obviously, Okada Omega 3, the finals, Omega versus what's the guy's name? Minoru Suzuki. That's a good match. Omega versus Evil, where he knocks him out like with one of his V-trigger knees. That's pretty brutal to watch because the guy's literally knocked out, has no clue what he's doing, and still finishes the match, which is very surprising. But just a lot of great matches all over the board. Anything with Kota Ibushi as well, definitely watch that. So, awesome stuff. Oh, another thing that should definitely be mentioned, I feel like they kind of wrapped it up though. There is an arc with Tama Tonga, one of the members of the Bullet Club, trying to usurp the throne of leadership in the Bullet Club, claiming that Kenny Omega is a bi-general leader with the Elite and the Bullet Club. But I feel like they may have buddied it out. I don't know, but Tama Tonga cut a pretty scathing promo about Kenny Omega and how much of a wank pheasant he is.
Well, in this week's episode of Being the Elite, they try to poison him. So
yeah, which is
kayfabe. They're not
episode.
actually trying to kill the guy. It's just that's part of the story. Like kayfabe killed Adam Cole. They didn't actually kill him.
Yes.
Adam Cole is not dead, guys. But he's no longer on Being the Elite.
Great episode of Being the Elite, Matt. Are you watching Being the Elite?
Oh man.
Gotta do it. Next
There's
time.
one time, like when they kill, it's like actually they say R.I.P. Adam Cole's character on Being the Elite. That's what they say whenever. Matt, you don't understand. I don't know why I try to explain things to you.
That's all for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Great stuff as Matt does a dance.
All right, Matt. Anything else? Or are you gonna take us home?
How do we watch that stuff?
Go to njpwworld.com and put your account information in, call your bank, let them know what's up, the whole 9 yards. Give about 5 to 10 minutes. You hit the blue button. There you are. And that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything else to add or?
Nah.
No.
Okay. No, you don't. Are you
I was
sure?
gonna say we're hoping to have some other extra content, some extra episodes after this weekend. So be sure to tune in this weekend. We're definitely planning on trying to get some extra videos up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Because
comment below if you like the episodes. If there's anything you
as well.
That's how you do it, Matt. That's how you do it.
Let us know how great the lower thirds are. We got the little nameplates with our names on it. Let us know how great those are. Let Matt
There's only
know
one
how great
nameplate
it is
that
because
actually
he made
has the championship on it, though. So.
Oh, Scott, what are we gonna do with you? I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna take your championship.
Hectic
Not
at
likely.
you.
We're gonna take it.
No doubt.
If I do not leave, there is a conspiracy against me, and if I do not leave this pay-per-view with my championship, I'm leaving.
Scott. No, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it, guys. As always, Noah, Scott, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a long time coming to this point in the day. I know we still got one more to record, so
Yeah.
I guess we'll say goodbye to our friends for now. Go down to the description of this video where you can find the link link to our SummerSlam video. We're going to do some predictions and talk a little bit about that. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check us out on our Facebook page, High Risk, Twitter at High Risk Podcast, and right here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe, share, all that business. YouTube, High Risk Podcast. Guys, I'll see you in like 2 minutes. And remember, always tuck your chin.